Oracle is coming. Girl, run. So I got about a jillion questions from my talk at the Women in Manufacturing Summit this week, and I'm stuck in DAA for, the millionth time in my life. So you're going to help me answer, okay? So let's just start because we're not going anywhere. Okay, it's too cumbersome. The technology team is too difficult. Well, we all know how that goes. So that falls into our devil's triangle, where we have leadership, IT, and operations. Clearly, there's an issue with the IT leg in that triangle in this conversation. So I would have to understand, like, how is your IT team difficult, and do they have a reason for being difficult? We have too many systems that don't talk to each other. Welcome to the modern enterprise. And this is really the need for that enterprise architecture lens of the organization, because without these systems talking to each other, they just become expensive and more siloed. And that would make me want to know, like, where is each system getting its data from? Like, is the information that they're even working with correct or factual? And that's a big one of what people are facing. And they need to focus on system architecture. And I talked to a lot of people today that felt like their system architecture was just kind of being held hostage by these large vendors. And that really is the case, but there's certain things you can do within that circle of influence, whether you're looking at middleware, whether you're looking at business intelligence tools to kind of like wrap them all together. What is your backend data management around all of these different things? So there are things that you can do, but it's going to be a diagnostic and prescriptive approach. This one is, we have a very challenging ERP system. We need to implement AI, but don't know how. Again, a very, very common occurrence, so valid. I think the thing is, I would have to know is, why is the ERP system challenging? Is that actually the function, or is that the processes around it? And if it's challenging, then that already we're going to run uphill to implement anything AI if our core functionality is not only perceived as challenging, but actually is functionally challenging as well. The more technology we use, the more restrictions we have, which is very challenging to be innovative. Again, so valid. And I would say, like, what's the size of the organization, and are we getting a little nervous about things that we implemented, now pulling it back and having different user roles, which can be a cybersecurity need as well. So I would have to know, like, what is challenging about that, and then why are those restrictions in place? What industry are you in? If you're in banking, it's very different than something like food and beverage, right? It is too much of a significant undertaking to combine our legacy system with a new upgraded system. And so I see a lot of this like urgent buying, right? This rash buying of, here's a new system, it's just going to replace our legacy system. That's not how that works, right? The system has to be matched to the business, just like if you were going to get, a prosthetic leg, it needs to be as tall as your other leg, right? So this would be something that would show me that there was, again, a break in that devil's triangle that I talked on today with leadership, ops, and operation and IT, to say, what is our legacy system and how do we replace it, not just rush by a new one, right? Oracle is coming, girl, run. Emails with bagels and bites notes. I assume that's a large organization that's trying to let people know that Oracle, they're planning on implementing it, and they're doing a little overkill by trying to force love it on people, right? Oracle's awesome, this can be awesome. Let's just like remind ourselves like how awesome an enterprise resource planning system can be. Like, it's still a technology that's kind of nerdy, right? So with this, I'd have to know like what Oracle system and what are you using it for, but it sounds like they're trying to like do the shove down the throat thing. AI is making people dumb. So real. I think probably we're seeing a lot of Gen AI overkill, right? Like, we can all tell when we get an email from someone that's used Gen AI to write it, because it's like, I'm thrilled to announce. Like, and it's like, girl, you're not thrilled. Okay. I think I saw in this conversation specifically a lack of just the understanding, like, how do we train to AI? And as I always recommend, stop talking about AI and name it something different for your organization. Even if it's like legit AI, name it like the Spartacus initiative, right? And then we have Gen AI Spartacus, we have predictive AI Spartacus, we have machine learning Spartacus. Like, we have all these different areas, but it's still unique to our organization, which takes away some of the fear around it. It keeps getting better and better. Microsoft is a horrible operating system. So I heard a lot of Microsoft challenges this week, and I think it's mostly because, again, we have moved into a situation in which they're pushing Copilot so hard that it might not match where the user is ready for it. And all of the many different, like, especially the big organizations I was working with, the, like, Fortune 100 organizations, they have a custom Copilot, and Microsoft has told them like it's the coolest thing since sliced bread, and it's really not, right? Like, if it works for our organization, cool, but it's not an innovation. It's just something that they're trying to sell you. But as I always talk about, like, so we only have so much influence in our roles in organizations because we have Microsoft. It's here to stay. We might as well lean into how we utilize Copilot without lying to people of it's the best tool out there. It's not the best tool out there, but it can certainly make us efficient, right? Well, let's do one more. AI is taking all jobs. And this was another thing I heard, especially in manufacturing. And I saw a lot of Deloitte was on stage, they were there. A lot of the human machine synergy kind of bullshit conversations. That sounds super good when we write it down on paper, but how does that actually work for people that are on the shop floor or on the job? And so when we think about AI taking jobs, I think we are seeing AI shifting jobs, right? Moving into more of a smart manufacturing ecosystem for this audience, but that's only going to work if you have the fundamentals to get that done. Thank you for helping me do my job. If you have answers to these questions, definitely pop them in the comments or have other questions yourself. Happy to answer them. But yeah, thanks for joining me on my long layover, maybe full night here at DIA.